Hi, this is Edgar Arceo with the Arceo Financial Group, and this week I will be showing the rate of return deceptive trap and understanding how rate of return actually works. First of all, I want to show you the difference between a median, average, and actual rate of return. I have heard some famous financial advisors that recommend people to invest their money on the stock market, saying that they will get on the long run 12% rate of return on their investment. So I'm going to be using an index fund based on the S&P 500 for the last 50 years. So I went to Wikipedia and I got the figures out of there. Now, why did I choose an index fund like the S&P? Well, there are many studies that demonstrate how an index fund will beat more than 90% of the time a mutual fund, and that is just a fact. So, as you can see here on the Wikipedia, they said that the medium is the 12% that we were talking about. Now, the medium really doesn't make any sense, and to prove it, I'm going to go to my calculator, and I'm going to say that we're going to invest $1,000, an annual rate of 12% for the 50 years that we were talking about. It says that we should get at the end $289,000. Now, as you can see on my calculator, I already input all the figures since 1963 until 2012. That is 50 years. So we're going to say that the present value is 1,000. At the end, we have an account value of $24,000. That is not the $289,000 that a lot of people think that they can get, the 12%. Now, there are also multiple mutual funds and firms that they use the average rate of return to promote their fund. And even though they are technically correct, it can be very deceiving. So let's calculate what is the average rate of return. So to do that, I'm going to put a formula here, equal the average. And it says that the average is 8%. Now, that still sounds good. You know, a lot of people will want to invest in this fund if they promise an average rate of return of 8%. So let's put that on the calculator and see what happens. So we're going to say 8%. It says that the future value should be 46,900, but in actuality, we just got $24,000. So what happened? Well, the thing is that average rate of return, again, even though that is technically correct, it doesn't tell the whole truth. And maybe later on I will explain why and what's the difference between all these three, medium, average, and the real rate of return. But also we have to calculate the fees that mutual fund charges. If you do your research, you will see that the majority of funds will charge you a minimal fee of 2%. So we're going to put here 2%, and let's see what happens to the account value. Now the account value goes down to $9,500. So you thought you were going to get $46,000. At the end, you are just getting $9,000. And quite frankly, this is the surprise that a lot of Americans are waking up to. And another thing is taxes. If you are in a non-qualified mutual fund or something similar, then we have to calculate the taxes. And let's say that you are on a 28% tax bracket. Now you're down to $5,900. So if we calculate the real rate of return, that will be 6.63. After the 2% fee, fund fee, is going to be 4.6, and after the tax bracket of 28 is about 3.61%. You thought you were getting 8%, but the real rate of return is 3.69. And these are just a couple of things. The fees, number one, two, the taxes, and three, the difference between the actual rate of return and the average rate of return.